In public safety, we get into the habit of describing crime in pretty vague ways, and that can make it hard to come up with solutions. And as more crimes occur and persist, this can be pretty overwhelming. SIMSY's tools are designed to help you try to cut through this noise. And as an example, we're going to break down a problem. Instead of crime, let's focus on shootings. The system's going to give us some feedback, and it thinks that that's still pretty vague. It wants us to specify the environment where the shootings occur and the time period. So, shootings near bars on Main Street at night. Now that is an actionable problem. This is something we can actually intervene on and try to solve. SIMSY's analytics are designed to do this sort of process for you. We study your crime data locations and the points of interest in your jurisdiction and come up with these types of patterns for you automatically on a regular cadence. So we are studying here, for example, assaults with a firearm in the city of Philadelphia at night. We found patterns with the locations of grocery stores, restaurants, beauty salons, and some of these other areas. The top of this list has a higher relative risk value, meaning they contribute to the risk more than the ones lower down the list. This gives you a sense of prioritization. The categories also naturally allow us to invite other stakeholders to the table. There's obviously the managers and owners of these establishments, but there's also other city jurisdictional agencies that have authority over the spaces from a zoning perspective or a streets and business perspective. This allows you to broaden the perspectives in the public safety decision-making, especially when it comes to intervention. Now that we know that grocery stores are relative for assaults with a firearm, but not just any grocery stores near restaurants and beauty salons, we can use this information to plan intervention locations and specific activities that might change behaviors around those areas. It changes the conversation from assaults are a grocery store problem to how do we get the grocery store manager to contribute information that might help us solve this problem for good. And then you systematize that type of decision making so that all interventions of emergent problems work that way. And instead of just your interventions being data informed, your process is data informed too. In public safety, though, we have to lower the barrier for trying new and locally tailored interventions. And from SIMSY's perspective, our data analytics help break these problems down, but we also need to remove the analytic, data sharing, and communication roadblocks for collaborating. So we also develop a tool called ActionHub, which is connected to our analytics. The analytics automatically break problems down so that you don't have to, and then get sent to the ActionHub for them to be acted on. For example, you can come up with discussions to have multiple perspectives participate in the decision-making around what to do next or why problems are persisting. You control who is involved in this process, so you only need to invite people that you're comfortable with, and the data will suggest the likely next candidates. This also gives you a space to upload and track resources such as points of interest in your city and other data sets and have them shared across the hub to all users. This can connect silos together to create public safety programming that's cohesive and contains the perspective of the entire jurisdiction. And that enables a true version of community engagement that's not possible when you're not engaging a broad perspective. The system also gives you a space to break down your problems. So instead of focusing on overall crime counts, you can focus on individual crimes and where they occur and at the time of day. This allows you to plan interventions around those problems and see if what you're doing is actually addressing those specific things. Our system will automatically give you feedback on whether you're having an effect on crime locations if your crime data is connected to ActionHub. The system also gives you the ability to track interventions. This does not change your standard operating procedure. It does not replace your CAD RMS. This is for intervention work that would have happened anyway, but which the data would have been tracked in some kind of Google spreadsheet or even just through like a text message. It gives you a secure place to track your individual locations for exactly where you were intervening and when, so that later we can see if that data has an effect on crime locations. As a byproduct, it allows you to see what your action items are for individual crime types in a way that really gives you a broad overview of what the public safety activity is in your jurisdiction. For example, I have a number of interventions here, and they're all over different parts of the city. They're all focused on specific types of activities designed to have a specific outcome, like an effect on low community satisfaction or aggravated assaults. When you compose all of these locations together, you get a comprehensive public safety plan for the entire jurisdiction without it having to be a top-down, one-size-fits-all effort. You can tailor micro interventions to the areas that need them, but still have a comprehensive and coherent plan for the overall jurisdiction. This enables a new type of public safety that just is not possible in the current status quo. I think that this is a really interesting way for us to think about public safety problem solving.